We start. Okay.
Hey, hello agents. I'm Agent bamboocyt from Taipei, Taiwan, to investigate Mr. P.A.Chapeau.
Hello.
Hey. And okay, I'm here to ask him several questions that those investigators are eager to know. Okay, let me start now. The first question is, why are you in Hong Kong and what are you trying to achieve here and why is this important to you?
Good questions. And let me say thank you to the investigators and agents who are watching this and paying attention to the investigation. I appreciate your work. I need your work. So why am I in Hong Kong? Simply put, I'm here to help Hank. Hank's about to recurse, and if we don't activate the recursion artifacts, then he's going to come back with a giant hole in his mind. We'll lose 3.5 years of his memory, and we obviously cannot afford that. But the other specific reason that I am in Hong Kong is because I have a contact at the Hulong Transglobal, and they informed me that they have received an internal Hulong memo that may shed some light on the investigation, but they would only deliver it to me in China in person. So I guess you could say I'm here for 2 reasons: to ruin Hulong's day and to make sure that Hank's brain doesn't get deleted.
Okay, sounds nice. Well, earlier we've talked a little bit about Wendy. Could you please tell me more specific story about Wendy?
Yeah, I can tell you what I know, and I'm not trying to be particularly secretive. The truth is there is only so much that I or anyone seems to know about Wendy and the Dunraven Foundation. For the investigators who are paying attention, you may have seen the call that was intercepted by Niantic between me and Wendy. I was supposed to meet Wendy in Austin, Texas until that call was intercepted. She's now meeting with Hank, as best I understand, in Austin, Texas while I am here. That's basically all I know, other than the fact that the Dunraven Foundation is pushing out many videos with Wendy. I don't know why Wendy was selected. I don't know if she was recruited or if she simply responded as innocently as she seems to have to an advertisement. I'm as curious as the investigators, so I would just encourage people to keep asking questions and keep paying attention to Wendy and the Dunraven Foundation.
Oh, okay, nice answer. Okay, now we're proceeding to the next question. First, please tell us about your investigation, so-called truth-seeking. Yeah, what are the creed or policies you have in conducting the investigation, and how do you plan to develop the results of investigation in the future?
That's a great question. I think the cornerstone of this investigation is the idea that the truth is paramount, always, and no matter what. Once you start making judgment calls about what information the public should and should not receive, it is a very slippery slope to cover-ups and social control. So the truth is paramount. That is the underlying principle of the investigation. And the fact is that I feel quite guilty about allowing these people to keep the wool over my eyes for as long as they did. And so I have made it my mission to work as hard as I can to uncover the truth of this conspiracy, and I will not rest until I have done that. But as far as trusting agents, to be completely honest, the only way this works is if I have sources inside the NIA. And I won't have those sources for very long if I burn them. So the most important thing for agents to know is that anything that is shared with me in pursuit of the truth, I will keep your name out of it. Nothing that is said to me is off the record, but I will never share your name unless you want me to.
Okay. I would like to ask a further question, and on investigating, how do you plan to establish a partnership or a relationship of us with so-called trusted agent?
Well, what I have found to be most effective is to simply start by trusting agents with small pieces of information and small missions to see how that goes, and if that goes well, to move on from there. I was in Erfurt, Germany last month. I met many agents there, some who were particularly interested in the investigation. A few who I met I was able to work with on some small missions, and once I saw that they were trustworthy, I started to speak with them a little bit more about the investigation with detail that I wouldn't necessarily share with all agents. So the short answer is, it starts small, and if that goes well, I grow from there.
Got it.
But I need the agents as much as anyone. I need agents and investigators for for this process to go well. I cannot do this alone. So it is in my best interest to trust you, but obviously I need to be skeptical because not everybody has the best of intentions.
Okay, then next question. I'm gonna ask you some questions about Ada. The time we saw her last was XO5 anomaly in Tallinn. It was about a year ago. Though we can see her in Prime Scanner, do you have any information? Where are she, or what is she doing, or how is her status?
Yeah, Ada. Yeah, she went off the grid just before Niantic shuttered its doors. To be honest, I don't know whether or not I should be worried about Ada or for her. Niantic always treated her like just some computer program, and in the beginning I suppose maybe she was, but by the end it is my belief that she is as sentient as you or me or any of our investigators. And now she's out there somewhere. I don't have more information about specifically where she is, and I will always fight for her right to exist without obstruction or oversight, but I would be lying if I told you I wasn't staying up nights worried, not knowing where she is.
And please tell us, how about your relationship with Ada, and what's your feeling for her? I mean, such as romantic, emotional, or you have other feelings?
I have the utmost respect for Ada, and I appreciate who Ada is above and beyond, I would reckon, anyone else in the world.
Okay.
I would do nothing to get in the way of Ada's natural growth. As I said, I will forever fight for her right to exist without oversight or control, and I have a great deal of affection for her, but romantic feelings, as you suggested, that might be pushing it. I have a great deal of affection for Ada, but romance is maybe overstepping.
Okay, I understand. Next question. In October at MailEater, you imply that you are from 1218 universe. Can we confirm it? And who is this guy?
It's a very handsome person. So here's the important question. Who is any P.A.Chapeau? What does it mean to be a truth seeker? The path of a truth seeker is a very lonely one, trust me. You have to sacrifice your needs and desires in service of a greater mission and a greater truth. I have made that decision and put aside my personal interests for the betterment of all of humanity. And anyone interested in doing the same has to be willing to make the same sort of sacrifices. Whether their name is P.A.Chapeau, an investigator, a member of Essex, in the end it does not matter. We are one team on one mission seeking the greater truth.
Nice answer. Okay, then how do you look at Nia of today's? And do you think it's sunshine enough as their director Hank Johnson mentioned a year ago?
I think you might have some wrong information
Oh,
there.
really?
Well, the NIA would never put a guy like Hank in charge. I mean, we'd all be in good shape if they did, but I don't think the NIA would ever trust a guy like Hank. It's my thinking that the NIA believes they're acting in our best interest. The only thing is, who gave them the right to make the decision about what our best interest is? In my opinion, if they want to earn the trust of me, and I'd argue the trust of any investigator, they need to take a very good hard look at the way they operate.
Or it's still with too much shady dark sides and needs some supervising from people like you and me, or all the investigators?
Absolutely. There's no reason the investigation should do anything but ramp up. We cannot trust the NIA at their word. Even if you believe that they have the best of intentions, and I do at times think that they are trying to behave in what they believe to be the best interest of all of us, that does not mean they're necessarily doing so. So we need to remain skeptical, and we have to keep asking questions regardless of how the NIA may try to polish what they tell us.
Last question. Do you have any words to all the investigators all over the world?
Thank you. Most importantly, thank you. Without investigators like those of you watching, we go nowhere. I cannot, as I said before, I cannot pursue the truth of this conspiracy alone. I'm doing as much as I can, and I will continue to. You will see me all over the world, meeting with agents, talking with investigators, and trying to push this investigation forward. But without your brave work, it won't go anywhere. So continue your work, and in doing so, just make sure to stay safe, and remember that anything you share with me, it will be kept secret. Your name from anything you share will be removed unless you want me to share your name. So consider me a trusted source, keep up your work, and stay safe.
That's really a good question. Okay, I'm afraid we're running out of time and think this interview is gonna end now. So, can I call you Henry?
I prefer P.A., but anyone willing to save humanity can call me whatever they please.
Yeah, thank you. And I guess it's a time for me to protect the humanity now. I'm going to rush to the Hong Kong island.
Please do.
Yes, to protect the humanity. Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
No matter I'm going to call you P.A. or Mr. Harry. Okay, thank you for today's interview.
You're welcome, Bamboo. Good luck, investigators.